Welcome everybody to the next episode of the Body Harmonix podcast. And today I am joined by Lori Taylor. Now, you guys, I got to tell you something. I have known Lori for we don't even know how many years, probably 20. And it
Oh,
was
yeah.
right. And it was
Yeah.
through the T-Tapp tribe. So again, when I say I've known Lori, like not like I haven't been able to touchy feel her, but we are like, oh my gosh, like we know each other. We were just kind of talking about that, and how through these communities we can make such long lasting, truly great friends. So when people say you can't make friends online, I say, poo, that's just not true. So the reason that I wanted to have Lori on here today is because you guys know, I've been talking now about this like human garage, the fascia maneuvers. I'm like so blown away by the power of this and how it just goes into so much about what we T-tappers had learned about fascia and then takes it way into the cosmos with that. So I posted something on Facebook about the human garage and these maneuvers. And Lori posts under and comments, oh my gosh, I've been doing the maneuvers and human garage for a couple of years. As a matter of fact, was a volunteer coach. I've been coaching with this. And I'm like, no, as we say in Pittsburgh, out. So I said, oh, please, please, I would love to hear your experience. And she so kindly agreed to that. And so, just as it was cute, I had said to Lori, so can you give me just like a little bio so I can introduce you? And she used this term, and I just love it. For more details, just look at the show notes. But she says, I'm just a master dabbler. And, I'm a nurse and a massage therapist, and I've studied all these different things all about health. And I'm like, no wonder we're like little soul sisters, right?
Right.
One of my friends called me up one day and she said, Renee, I now have a term for us. And I'm like that. She says, I've heard it called scanners. We're always seeking out the newest, coolest thing, right? Master Dabbler. So welcome, Lori, the Master Dabbler. I am so happy to be here. Have you here, I mean. And let's talk human garage, shall we?
Let's do it. Thank you so much for this opportunity. This is my first podcast, Renee.
First
my
grade.
husband, my husband was all excited. He said, "Oh, you're going to be a star." I said, "No, I don't think quite that, but yeah, this is the
I
OG
love it.
podcast."
I love it.
I am so excited to be here. I love all things human garage. And let me just start by saying there are quite a number now of qualified coaches out there in the world of human garage. I am a qualified volunteer coach. I went through their program. I've been doing this for quite a few years now. But I am not a coach that I'm taking clients. I live in a very small area, so I'm not, out in the world like that. So, but human garage is part of my everyday life for sure. So,
And
yeah,
how did you find this crazy thing called human garage?
human garage, isn't that a weird name?
It is. It's like it just doesn't quite match. Like I know the story, but it doesn't match. Go ahead.
It doesn't match. People get well, and so it does bring up your curiosity a little bit. Just like you take your body into your car into a garage for a tune-up, you need to keep your body tuned up. So that's how I like to,
Oh,
to
that's
describe it.
clever. That I
Yeah,
love.
yeah. I found Human Garage. I live about 2 hours south of Vancouver, Canada, and that's where Gary Lynham, who is the one of the founders of Human Garage, has a home, and where it kind of got started, actually quite a few years ago. They were during COVID is really, if you know the story, they got kind of started and developed this program during COVID, and then they wanted to bring it to the world. And so at the end of COVID, they put on a worldwide Zoom class that I saw on Instagram, and I enrolled in that. It was on New Year's Day, 2023. I had just been 4 months in recovery from a botched cardiac ablation that left me. I don't want to go into that, but I lost a lot of blood. It took me a long time to recover. I was very, very weak. I've always been interested in health and wellness, and finding them on Instagram, I signed up for this class, and it was a 2-hour thing online, and I had it on the big screen in the living room, and it was like, you know, let's do this. And through the whole thing, Gary was talking about the principles of human garage. And Renee, as you know, we've been always looking, like, you know, for the answers, and putting it all together in under one umbrella. The more he talked, the more I thought, oh my gosh, this is so amazing. It's the human body. It's health and wellness. It's taking control of your own health, which I love. You don't have to take a pill or do this or go to this doctor or spend all this money. You can do this on your own. Of course, the clean air, clean water, clean food, all those things that are so important. And taking the body out of stress, letting the body heal itself, you know, just empowering people felt so, so good. And then there was another component that I was really attracted to. Gary's very into astrology, so he kind of brought that into it. And I've done quite a bit of study in that little realm. And so that was like, oh my gosh, I have someone to talk to about that too. And so it just all really fit. And I started going online and looking at the maneuvers and doing the maneuvers daily, teaching them to my husband and my kids, and I just started feeling more, my energy come back, and feeling so much better from what I had gone through. So then kind of the rest is history. I did, they offered a volunteer coaching program in 2024 that I went through. It was quite extensive and detailed, and a lot of requirements. And I just made that my focus. And I wanted to know the training and know what I was doing. And I thought eventually I would become public and become a coach in my community and all of that. And I still do that, but not formally. I do that when I run into people and they have a tweaked knee or, you know, a headache or whatever, like, let me show you how I can help you. And so I'm kind of giving it away that way. It's a little easier for me to do that in my lifestyle. But yeah, I will always do fascial maneuvers. I love, love, love the principles, and it works. So.
And it works. I mean, it absolutely works. And so, you know, whenever I say that, or I even hear somebody say it works, there's always this thing in my mind, meaning, what does it works mean? And I know for me, it's about really tuning in to your body's wisdom and what the body has to say, because that whole communication system inside and through our field is through the fascia.
Yes, yes.
Right. I mean, this is stuff that gets a little woo if that's how you're seeing it, but that happens to be the truth as
Yeah.
we know it at this moment. Um, and so to now be able to connect, because I know that we've got to embody these principles, embody what's going on, embody, and I'm talking more consciousness, etc. But the whole thing, it's in the body. And if your body is toxic and you're feeding it, you know, processed food, and you're drinking toxic water, all that stuff, and thinking toxic thoughts and putting your attention out there in fear, you know, this is all resonance. It's all energy work. And fascia maneuvers, make no mistake, it's energy work, and it's
I love that too. I love the fact, you know, when you even think of your aura, you know, your aura comes from clean fascia that is functioning the way it should be functioning.
right. And that's an aspect that's its own thing, isn't it, Laura? You and I didn't even talk about this before we came on. You're probably going like, wow, this is going a whole different place than we thought. But you know, I just kind of wait until something kind of just like, oh yeah, that needs to be said, because it's physical health, but physical health is just one part of health. And what I see, the human garage, the whole culture community teaching coaches is, yeah, okay, let's start there. You know, if you have a pain, if your knee is hurting, if you're in stress, we're starting there. These movements will work. Absolutely, they work amazing on the physical level. And then what happens? The emotions are tied up in that fascia. So,
That's, yeah, I
yes.
love that.
And so
So
that
go on with what you're
well,
saying.
I'll finish and then we'll have a dialogue
Yeah.
around this. So, yeah, and so now you're now into the emotional body as well. So these one movements, now they're dealing physical, right? They're dealing that emotional, the mental, because you can even start to see what thoughts are coming up. Oh, this is too hard. Oh, I'm in pain. How can I switch this and put in a positive affirmation into it, right? So then, as this happens, you're now reducing stress. You're now raising the vibration of the body because you're out of those dark thoughts, those lower vibrational energies. Anyway, to me, I just see it as such a complete holistic approach. And it sounds to me like that's what really connected you with it.
It is, and the other the simplicity of the breath. Your breath is your therapist. I remember hearing Gary say that so many. Your breath is your therapist, and then this was, I think, the first time when I heard it. They talk about how the body likes things in 3s, 6s, and 9s, and so they landed on the 6 for 6 breaths, and in through the nose, out through the mouth, or in through the mouth, out through the mouth, and being able to, when you breathe in through your nose, you're really affecting more the upper body with that breath, and breathing in and out through the mouth, you're allowing that breath to be driven down into the lower body. And then when you pin and lock the fascia and you build up the pressure in the fascial system with the breath, and that helps if you look online at what does fascia look like, and these fibrous tendrils filled with fluid that get really congested. And if you take that breath and you allow that to gently, like you're saying, it just gently opens it up. It allows that fluid to flow more. Those areas can become softer and more engaged with your mental, emotional body. And then the pain goes away. But it's the breath that gets in there, and with the pressure, that opens that up. It's really brilliant. Really
It's breathtaking, isn't it? It's like all these things that we've studied all together in this one
yeah.
whole sequence.
The other thing that I love, we didn't talk about this yet either, but like when you do you've done the finger pulls. Have you done
Mm,
that one? Or you do it on your toes or
oh,
whatever. You do the organ reset. All of that is connected with the meridians based in ancient Chinese medicine.
yes.
And you're doing affirmations, releasing anger. You got your liver here, releasing anger or whatever, releasing oppression, all those things. And just you're reprogramming this computer, this fascial computer. You're giving it new things to consider as you're opening it up. It's just, it really is. We're getting really woo. I mean, we could go way down that
Okay, but because that's okay. Anybody really interested in the details and how to do it, it's all there. It's all there. And that's why I made a decision to like take all this in, learn as much, experience it, because learn, now for me, it's so much more than I spent so many years in my head, right? All that T-Tapp, all those details. She was very, very detailed, right? And you know me, I got in. I mean, I spent years and years teaching every day, and still I would find a new little nuance to it, right? But
yeah.
now I recognize that, you know what? We've got to, and that I was embodying. Okay. But to get out of all the details and
Yeah.
just, you don't have to take somebody's word for it, right?
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
it's an experiential. You feel it. You do it, and then you go, "Oh my gosh, I'm ready to cry. Oh my gosh, I have to run to the bathroom." I mean, this right?
Yeah.
This is tangible, visceral
Yeah.
change.
Yeah. When
And
you feel that, like you say, oh my gosh, I need to cry, you feel something come up. I don't know if you've watched videos of Gary working on people. I've been in person where he's, doing the belly button torque. That's something we have so much emotion tied around here. So you do that belly button torque and you feel it's an incredible feeling to feel the emotion that you don't even know where it came from. It just comes up and out, and you're done, and you don't have to analyze like, oh my gosh, am I mad at my mother or whatever. No, it just comes up. You cry or you sob or you whatever, and you're clean and clear.
it It's
It's amazing.
amazing. And you know, I haven't actually had that experience yet with fascial maneuvers, but I've done so much somatic work and in my general somatic yoga because it's that same thing. The breath is your healer. So, you know, in that we inhale with a micro movement and exhale and inhale. And I would always have people just break out in tears. Right.
Yeah,
And I would say, just let it come, let it come. No story. Don't, it doesn't matter the story. It's not about that. It's about releasing that trauma that's locked in our tissues. Who cares
yeah,
about the story? The story is just brain, it's nothing.
yeah, yeah, exactly, exactly.
Yeah. So,
Yeah,
of course,
there's
I've
so
had,
much, so much that the fascial maneuvers can offer.
yeah.
And the other thing that I love is you can learn the maneuvers. There's a lot. You can work the whole body. But you can do 2 or 3 maneuvers, takes 10 minutes, 12 minutes, maybe. Do them when you first get up in the morning, do them before you go to bed at night, and just make that part of your routine. If you can, just like brushing your teeth, don't even think about it. And really, literally, don't even think about it. Just do the pin and lock, do the breath work, do the, all that motion, go to bed, get up in the morning, do it again. Your body will start to respond, and you won't even know. 7, 8, 10 days later, you're like, wow, I don't have that thing in my hip anymore, or whatever. Or my digestion feels quite a bit better. What am I doing different? I'm not doing anything different. Oh, yes, you are. You're allowing space for your body to heal.
Right. And oh, it's just so breathtakingly beautiful. And I love what you said. Don't even think about it. This is just what you do. It's part of your self-care routine. And routine, it's very interesting. In the other somatics that I teach, the Hannah somatics, you know, all of the others and whatever I just kind of created from all these different things I pull in.
Dabbling.
Dabbling. Thank you, Sandy. Dabbling, I really like that word. It's cute and it's fun and it's very descriptive. Um, dabbling, what's happening is you are not only releasing in that moment, but you're retraining the brain, the whole nervous system. It's a
Yeah.
retraining. So yes, you may or may not get a complete release in that moment, but if you keep doing it, you are retraining. And then all of a sudden, you wake up one day, just what you said, and you're like, wow, okay, that's not bothering me anymore. I mean, just a quick little example of this, you guys. I had been, and I love to walk. I walk every day. Walking is also my therapy, breath and walking.
Yeah.
I get out, there's left brain, right brain. I can listen to nothing. I can listen to I just love it. And I started to have this issue right down on this ligament. It's a groin ligament that goes down in my front. And I was doing all kinds of things that I knew of to release it. Just wasn't, I couldn't get it to release all the way, right? It was just not quite, or maybe one day and then not the next. And since I've been doing the maneuvers now, um, I've been real, it's gone. I don't have it anymore. It's not there. And it's not compensatory. You know how sometimes something happens and your body compensates. But when it
Yeah.
compensates, it's not compensating in a good balance. It's compensating. I don't want to compensate. I want to really release whatever is restricting that flow of movement. This absolutely, and now when I walk, the other thing I've really noticed is I have a very high arch. And you know, with T-Tapp, we always knees out. So you're always on the outside of the foot, which I don't think is helpful. That's my own thing. Now I just realized because I wear barefoot feet shoes that, oh my
Yeah.
gosh, I feel very flat. My foot, I'm feeling my full foot.
That is also a human garage principle, let me tell you.
Tell me.
Yeah, no, Gary's all about the barefoot shoe, and
Mhm.
and really feet on the ground. And now they have, yeah, well, and now they have barefoot shoes that have a copper button or something that you
Grounding.
really do get the electromagnetic field up into your
Grounding.
body. So yeah, that's so important. And I will say, just a little aside, for people that are interested in barefoot walking, sometimes you have to ease into it because we're so used to being confined. And I also do barefoot all the time. And I'm tall, I'm a big girl. I wear a size 11 shoe. It's not easy to find.
Four
Not
and
easy
a
to
half. I
find
wear children's
shoes.
shoes.
Yeah.
4'11". There we go. Mutton Jeff.
You and I are Mutt and Jeff.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. But anyway, it's really amazing though if you can ease into it and how your foot, I will say it gets wider, and that might be freak people out, but you could see that your toes, you have much more control over your individual toes, and that is really how you're supposed to walk.
Yes, toes
So
and hands.
yeah,
They are mirrors of each other. And when we
yeah.
and now I'm probably going to get all kind of craziness comments on this, but I'm going to say it out loud because it is my truth. I watch half the world are in Hokas.
Half
Half
the world is what?
are wearing Hoka tennis shoes. And I
Oh,
because even I'm in China and there they are. Everybody's there. Of course, most of them are probably Americans in those Hokas. And I'm sure they love them. Oh, my husband loves them. It really helps his back. But I'm looking at them going,
I
okay,
don't
okay.
understand. I don't
I don't
understand
either, but
at
okay.
all.
But anyway, you and I are
Yeah,
both, we get the real biomechanics. You've got to have
yeah,
mobility and flexibility in those toes, like in your hands. And one thing I
right.
will say again from my training with the old T-Tapp, man, she was all about finger and foot fitness, right, Lori? She
Well,
never.
that's what I was going to ask. Have you done the foot with Human Garage? Have you worked your toes and done the barefoot sprinter?
Yeah. Oh,
Oh,
hell yes.
yeah. It's just amazing.
Amazing. Yes.
I have a really bad injury. I don't know if you can see. I have a scar that's this
Yeah.
far across my leg, and I broke my leg. A tree went through my leg actually, and broke my fibula and tibula in 6 places.
Whoa.
And it was it happened in 2009, and T-Tapp actually really helped me through all of that healing. But but I have a lot of inflammation that settles
Yeah.
into those tissues there because of the scar tissue. But I have been working this now for a couple of years and using the fascial maneuvers and really consciously thinking about what is the fascia doing that's wrapped around that scar tissue, and opening up again, like I was saying, instead of these congested fibers, opening it up and letting it have space. And that and an anti-inflammatory diet really makes a difference. But working the lower legs, the feet, we sometimes forget about that, but working those areas, I mean, we're on our feet all day, every day. So fascial maneuvers in the feet and toes and legs and that barefoot sprinter and all that just really makes a huge difference.
It does. And strangely enough, my feet and lower legs are very, very tight. I mean, even my best friend who's a chiropractor, I mean, she worked on me years ago and she's like, you've got the tightest paws. And so I work them daily all the time. I have to.
Yeah.
And these have been very, very helpful for me. And just the same thing. And using the mind with the imagination, the visualization
Yeah.
of that light coming down through the
Yeah.
fingers and in there and opening it all up. Yeah, it's really, really powerful.
I also want to say something else that I think is so important. In this day and age, we have all these specialists and people we can go to for help, which is, thank goodness we do. However, like you were describing the pain in your side with walking, and you knew, and of course, you're a body person, you know your body more than some people do. You know what tendon it is, almost whatever, but most people don't know their bodies. They're used to just going to the massage therapist or going to the chiropractor or what, doc, I've got this thing. But with fascial maneuvers, you really start to become familiar with your joints, with this vehicle, that this sacred temple that you have been given, and you've got the mind and you've got the heart to understand the physical. You really have it. You have that capacity in you. And with fascial maneuvers, just you don't have to be woo to connect with your body, but doing the fascial maneuvers and feeling and connecting with your hands. What does that feel like when I twist this way? What does it feel like when I hold in this position, when I bring the breath into this area? And over time, you get to understand, oh, you might not know the name of the muscle. That's okay. But you understand how your body is put together and, where your liver is. And when you do the organ reset, where your pancreas is, where your stomach is. And I think it's so valuable for us to know this vehicle that we're spending 80, 90 years in. Let's
I,
love who we are.
I agree. And I think the last thing that I think is really important to say right around with what you're saying is also the understanding, the felt understanding that because we are fascia, when you have a pain in one place, 99.9% of the time, it's not coming from there.
Yeah.
Right? And so, oh, my hip hurts. I'm going to go to the hip doctor. And then the hip doctor fixes the hip. But then you still have the issue because it's coming from your toe. Or,
Yeah.
right? The way that the body works. And so when you do the maneuvers, the other thing about it is that you go slowly. And he says all the time, and I've found this too in my other somatic work, you must, with that breath, go slowly. The fascia really responds to that slow going. And when you do that with your focus in, now you can see, oh, I'm torquing and turning my little toe. Geez, I feel that up deep in my hip joint. So if I'm having problem in my hip joint,
Yeah.
I can work through my toe and release my hip.
Yeah.
Right? Because the body works in patterns and fractals and fascia. And
Yeah.
so that's the body as teacher. The body
Yeah.
as teacher.
Yeah. I love that. I love that so much.
Yeah.
Yeah, this human garage world has just really put together for me really a complete picture. I don't feel like like even I was sharing with you, I had this some weird fluid build up in my eardrum, which is I've never had this before. And I'm doing fascial maneuvers on my ear, I don't need to go to the doctor and have them look in my ear and say, yeah, you've got fluid behind your eardrum. I can work it out, right? I can be my own healer like this. So
Right.
yeah.
And this work comes to humanity now
Yeah.
at a time where we must become our own healers. We don't have to. Obviously, it's always a choice, but we now have a choice. And
Yeah.
if your choice for yourself is to become empowered to do whatever you can to keep yourself healthy and then get yourself healthy. This work is now being presented here to us, and it is deep and it works. It doesn't mean you can't need a doctor for all those other things, but for the day to day, the keeping ourselves healthy, this is it. And thank you so much, Lori. And to end this, I just want to say another word, and I know Lori will agree with this. To be able to have this amount of incredible work, all free on YouTube, all right, and free and through different voluntary coaches, etc. And I'm talking about free on YouTube, and that they say very clearly, we want you to learn this and evolve it, make it your own. They're not claiming it. They're not stopping anybody from taking it and using it to develop something else. This is the new higher consciousness that we need to be working through. And so I'm like, yes, that's why I'm taking all these principles, and adding maybe the one main, let's relax the body using the fascia maneuver, and then continuing through with what I've called empowered strength flow, which really is so much of this already. I really see it all together. And then doing it together again in community and allowing all of us to go, wow, that move really worked for me. But you know what? I'm only going to use 90% of my strength or whatever it is, so that we can really start to incorporate and develop our own self-care routine. And
Yeah. I think
really,
it's really, really important, especially as we get older. Renee, you and I have known each other since we were young things. And we know how important it is to take care of our body. I also want to say, if you go to Human Garage has an app and they have a website. And I think if you go to the app, there's more information there. And you can do the 3, the 7, and the 28-day reset. Those are their stress resets, and that will get you into the program. There's really good online community. There's support groups for the 28-day reset that are free. The different coaches host during the week. Find one that works for you all over the world, actually. And there are events that different coaches are holding. If you just do #HumanGarage on Instagram, you'll find a lot of things. There's a big group in Toronto, Canada, that are doing wonderful things. In Vancouver, there's another coach there doing wonderful things. They're all over the world now. And so it's available to the masses.
It
And I
is.
really encourage you to look at it and apply it.
Beautiful. Lori, again, thank you so much. Thanks for coming on and sharing your experience.
This was really fun. Thank you.
You're so welcome. Your very first podcast.
My first podcast. I wouldn't want to do it with anybody else. It was really fun, Renee. You're a great podcast host.
Thank you so much. All right, you guys. Thanks. That's a wrap for this one. I will be doing my live maneuvers in empowered strength flow class this Thursday night at 7:30. I'm doing it on the second and fourth Tuesdays of the month for my paid Substack subscribers. It's $5 a month, you guys. I mean, really, but that's up to you. And in the meantime, move freely, heal deeply, and flow.
Use your breath.
Use your breath. It's
Thanks, Renee.
Thanks, Lori.
Bye-bye.
Bye.